Hello, good morning, SH3 students. It's a cold morning, and I know that, yes, maybe some of you still choosing to go to sleep again rather than listening to me. But please, for this time, because you only have 2 days left as high school students, let us discuss about physics. Still, I'm going to give you some of the revisions, and this time I'm going to give you a book, International AS and A-Level Physics Revision Guide. This book actually will be very useful for you guys, the one that joining A-Level class, especially for physics for these 2 years. Because you know that every A level or Cambridge subject need to be ended with A level test. But because this year we know the condition is not enabling us to do these A level tests, then I hope this book will help you for any kind of test in the future that is related to physics. Let's say if you want to enter the university and then the university need to test you about physics lesson, then I hope this physics revision will be very helpful for you. And I will upload this file into our Google Classroom so you can download it and you can read it because this book is quite complete. Yeah, as I've read, it is quite complete. It consists of the way to face exam, and then after that, the summary of the materials, the example of the question, and then also past papers. So lucky for you, you don't have to buy this book. I provide it for you and you can download it. Okay. So for the syllabus, okay, so this one first. Yeah, the book contains this one about general physics, Newtonian mechanics, matter, oscillations and wave, electricity and magnetism, and also modern physics for the AS level. For the A level, yeah, which is this one, the things that we have studied in SH3, general physics, Newtonian mechanics, matter, oscillation and wave, electricity, modern physics, and gathering and communicating informations. This one about operational amplifier of MM sensors that we have studied. We mostly do experiment for this one. So about the assessment, this is the thing that is actually every level students need to do after 2 years studying A level. Yeah, you need to be assessed. So you have the Cambridge A level criteria, and the A level certificate actually will be very helpful for you if you want to continue your study abroad. Yeah, many universities abroad accept A-level assessment. Okay, so what is assessed in A-level and AS level? Both the AS and A-level examinations will test three assessment objectives. These are the knowledge with understanding, handling information and solving problems, and also experimental skills and investigation. So about the knowledge with understanding, this will be 30% of the whole examinations. In the beginning of this semester, I give you many past papers, yeah, from paper 1, paper 2, and also paper 4, because this is the papers of theory. Okay, paper 1, paper 2, and also paper 4. Paper 1 and paper 2, it is A level, and paper 4, sorry, paper 1, paper 2, it is AS level, and paper 4 is A level. So for knowledge with understanding, this involves your knowledge and understanding of the facts and concepts described in the learning outcomes in all selections. Questions testing this assessment objective will make up 37% of the whole examination. And then after that, you will be assessed handling information and also solving problems. This requires you to use your knowledge and understanding to answer questions involving unfamiliar context or data. This usually the assessment in paper 5. The examiners ensure that questions testing this assessment objective cannot have been practiced by candidates. You will have to think to answer this question, not just remembering. Because for doing paper 1, 2, and 4, you can do memorizing the formula and then after that applying the formula. But for this one, you need to evaluate. Yeah, you need to evaluate the questions and then after that comes up with some problem solving. An important part of your preparation for the examination will be to gain confidence in answering these kind of questions. Testing this assessment objective will make up 40% of the whole examination. So it is not only provided in in paper 5, but handling information, also solving problems, also this included also in paper 4 and paper 2. Yeah, when you answer questions, the essay questions, then you need to put your own opinion how to solve the problems. Then this is the part of it, handling informations and solving problems. For your future, also this one will be very useful because in university, of course, the way you study will be very different. Okay, you'll the one who will be active, not your lectures. To find data, yeah, to solve problems by your own, and then after that, the lectures only ask you to submit the assignment. Mostly that way. So from now on, you can start to prepare yourself, yeah, start to prepare your brain to be more creative to solve problems. And after that, the one that will be assessed in A level is experimental skills and investigations. This involves your ability to do practical work. This one is in paper 3. The examiners set questions that require you to carry out experiments. It is most important that you take every opportunity to improve your practical skills as you work through your course. Your teacher should give you plenty of opportunity to do practical work in a laboratory. So I do hope that within these 2 years, the practical or the experimental works that I provide to you is enough. And with all the projects also, so later, let's say you take the major that is related to physics, then you have the basic, how to handle the materials, how to do the experiment, you know how to do it. The skills built up in AS are developed further at A2 or Stage 3. In addition, you are expected to understand how to plan an investigation. Although paper 5 does not require you to carry out an experiment, the only way to learn the skills required to succeed on this paper is by working hard in the laboratory. questions testing this assessment objective will make up 23% of the whole examination. So guys, if you take the major that is related to science, whatever major it is, starting from medications, techniques, and then after that mechatronics, so whatsoever, all the things that related to science, of course your college later will have practical, where either in laboratory or maybe outside of laboratory. So the skills that you have got from senior high school, yeah, how to handle things in laboratory, and then how to act in the laboratory, I hope that you can apply in the university later. Notice that more than half the marks in the examinations, or 63%, are awarded for assessment objectives B and C. Yeah, knowledge with understanding, and then also handling information and solving problems. The rest is for experimental skills and investigations. You need to work hard on developing these skills, as well as learning facts and concepts. There is guidance about assessment objective C for AS level on page 100 until 116, and for A2 on page 258 until 265. So you can check this later, yeah, if you want to know more, or maybe next year you want to take this A-level test, who knows, because that is the requirements for your university. So this will be very helpful for you. Or you want to take the October exam, maybe, because your university require A-level, then this book will be very helpful. Okay, as we know that the AS examination has 3 papers. Paper 1, the multiple choice. Paper 2, structured questions. Paper 3, advanced practical skills. And mostly we have discussed paper 1 and also paper 2. For paper 3, because these need to be like individual experiment. So we have limited time to do this, but we do laboratory experiment, yeah, during SH2 and SH3. And also for A-level, yeah, the one that you study in SH3, the materials from SH3 consists in paper 5 and paper 4. And another thing that is also important is about the scientific language. We are from the science department. Most of us will go to the science major, of course. Even though you're not going to science major, you go to social major, then you need to be able to use some kind of scientific language. So this is about how to make a paragraph scientific. Throughout your physics course, and especially in the examination, it is important to use clear and correct scientific language. This one, you also need to apply it in university. You use scientific language. Scientists take a great care to use language precisely. If researchers do not use exactly the right word when communicating with someone, then what they say could easily be misinterpreted. So please choose a good word, what we call as diction in English, right? You need to have a scientific diction. Some terms in physics have a clearly defined meaning, although they are used in everyday language in a much looser fashion. So this is the words or some kind of sentence that you usually made during the task. You use everyday language to answer questions. So please try to avoid it in the future. Do not use everyday language in answering questions or making papers, making scientific papers. You need to use scientific language. An example of this is word. In physics, you do work when a force moves its point of application in the direction of its line of action. Right? In everyday life, you probably consider yourself to be doing work now on, like me, I'm doing my work now as you read this book. So the everyday language and also the scientific language will be very different. So you need to be able to choose, yeah, a correct scientific language when you answer questions in essay, yeah, essay, and also when you're making some kind of papers, you need to use scientific language. However, the examiners are testing your knowledge and understanding of physics, not how well you can write in English. This is also important. They will do their best to understand what you mean, even if some of your spelling and grammar is not correct. Okay, choose scientific language is important, but I'm not telling you that you can do wrong grammar here when answering questions related to physics. No, if you can do it, then it will be better. But of course, like what I did also with you these 2 years, I'm not checking exactly your grammar, of course. I'm checking your knowledge about physics. And also, the choice of your words need to be related to physics. That's it. And about your mathematical skills. You know that physics is none without mathematics. Of course, it's part of it. It is the language of physics. Mathematics is the language of physics. You also need to develop your skills in handling equations and also mathematical techniques. The very basic, okay? Physics is a quantitative science, and you need a good level of mathematical understanding if you are to fulfill your potential. So it's like when you do questions, you know how to do physics. In physics, yeah, you know the formula. But when you comes to the calculations, let's say it needs differentiations or it needs integral, then you do know how to do it. That will be useless. Okay, for the revision, if you still preparing for your tasks, what kind of any kind of tasks, yeah, for you to enter the university, this is what you can do to do the revision. There are many different ways of revising, and what works well for you may not work for someone else, right? Some of you uh, is the best time for you to study is in the morning after you wake up, but some of you the best time for you to study is in the middle of the night when it is the situation very quiet. Yeah, so different people, different way of studying, and also different way of revising. Look at the suggestions below and try some of them. Revise continually. Don't think that revision is something you do just before the exam. Okay, this is wrong. Life is much easier if you keep revision, ticking along right through your physics course. Find 15 minutes a day to look back over what you did a few weeks ago to keep it fresh in your mind. You will find this helpful when you come to start your intensive revisions. So 15 minutes a day actually better than 24 hours before the exam, right? So 15 minutes a day. So start from now on, 15 to 30 minutes a day, revise the things that you need to revise, then it will be very helpful. And then after that, understand it. Research shows that we learn things much more easily if our brain recognize that they are important and that they make sense. Before you try to learn a topic, make sure that you understand it first. If you don't, ask a friend or a teacher, find a different textbook in which to read about it, or look it up on the internet. Work at it until you feel understand it and then try to learn it. So what he tried to mention here, first things that you need to do is understanding about the terms. If you do not understand about the terms or the language that the textbook have, yeah, then of course you will not understand it. After you know all the terms in that chapter, then you can go on to study about it again, let's say the formula, okay? And make your vision active. Just reading your notes or a textbook will not do any harm, but it will not do all that much good. Your brain only puts things into its long-term memory if it is things they are important. So if your brain think that physics is not important, then okay, all the things that I have taught you, then it will just evaporate. Your brain only put things into its long-term memory if it thinks they are important. So you need to convince it that they are. You need to convince that the things that you study is important for you. You can do this by making your brain do something with what you are trying to learn. So if you are revising the meanings and relationships between electrical quantities or their units, construct a flow diagram to show the relationship. You will learn much more by constructing your own list of bullet points, flow diagram or table. They're just trying to remember one that someone else has constructed. So, so here, after you read from textbook or you hear explanations from videos, and then you try to make your own summary. The best summary is summary that includes diagrams, tables. It is easily understand rather than on words or sentence only. So if it is consists diagrams and also tables, then your brain will catch it better. Pair chairs for all. Don't always start your revision in the same place. If you always start at the beginning of the course, then you will learn a great deal about kinematics and dynamics, but not much about nuclear physics. Make sure that each part of the syllabus gets its fair share of your attention and time. Okay, and then also, of course, this, what I mentioned to you in the beginning, plan your time. What is the best time for you to study? Choose it. Keep your concentration. It is often said that it is best to revise in short periods, say 20 minutes or half an hour. So 15 to 30 minutes will be good for you. Okay, more than that, then your brains will be exhausted. But remember, 15 to 30 minutes every day. And do not assume you know it. The topics where exam candidates are least likely to do well are often those they have already learned some things about IGCSE or O level. This is probably because if you think you already know something, then you give it a low priority when you are revising. So try to always be curious about something. Okay, be curious about something. Do not assume you know it. Then your brain will actually, okay, want to know more about this. And must remember cards. It is a good idea to write down important equations and definition on a piece of card. 3 or 4 link equations or definitions on each card. Stick the cards on your bathroom mirror. Okay, this is one of the way. Yeah. So that's all for today. I hope these books will be very helpful for you. You can download it and read it again. It consists of 288 pages. And yes, good luck for any kind of task that you will face within this month or next month to enter the university. As a teacher, of course, I hope you got what you want, you got the best. And yes, good luck for your future. Okay, that's all for today, guys. Thank you for listening to me and see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.